So, talking about the map. What do you think about Novka?
Um, hmm. Interesting map. With those two flags, with hard access to, both sides have one. I will still say the blue side. Well, I don't play this map a lot.
Okay, so to people who don't play team games, don't play 2v2s, I would say that this map is kinda mirrored because why? Usually blue team lose this flag. Why? Because the only reliable way to go here is here, and you can be easily shooted from this direction, like single SPW or BA-10, whatever can stop you. On the other hand, flame troops will go here without any hindrance from the axis this time, because there is no clear line of sight because of this small forest. On the other hand, usually red red side of the red players will lose this flag.
yeah, I would lose it too. Don't worry.
Yeah, green always lose this flag too, because again, flamethrowers or fast jeep troops will reach this flag before the Axis, and Axis has very nasty, to be on a single road, which is easily shotted either from here or even single SPW coming from here. And what
All
do you
right,
think
if
about
you
divisions? 97th,
divisions,
84th,
right?
and Viborg.
While I'll be yapping about divisions, you can turn off the Discord stream because I'll just look at the Twitch so you can have this extra quality on the stream, you know. So let me see. We have Viborg in 84th. Not something I would consider terrible divisions. I would consider them mediocre, but not terrible. Both IS2 divisions, quite ballsy from Oerman and Tekadits. To let IS2s on such an open map. Well, I would say they're taking the risk. Not say this way. They're taking the risk of facing IS2s. Viborg, not much infantry, and by infantry here I mean long-range infantry. So infantry with machine guns, they have only 3 cards. So 1 card of Strelki, 1 card of Strelki DP, and 1 card of Chernopajeniki. 84th, on the other hand, only 1 card of mediums. But if we go to the Axis side, Axis made sure to be able to counter heavy tanks. We have 122nd with its Krupp guns, the heavy 88s, and Dekadits with the fans' favorite 352nd of the Jagdpanther, also being able to quite reliably deal with IS2s. I'm very curious to see how they play it. I'm very curious to see which one will prevail, and yeah, let's watch that.
I think that Curious is a new player, if I remember correctly, right? Because usually you
Yes,
don't deploy
yes.
your M42 in this 42. Oh, come on! I need to
Yes,
stop.
well, this 42 is not a terrible transport in a way that it has armor. So it's something which can roll just under the nose of your enemy infantry and unload. The thing is, it's very slow, and with AT guns, you'd rather prefer them to be a bit quicker to the front line. But small mistake again, deck building, nothing huge.
Yeah, it's probably the syndrome of banning and picking and quickly playing just after this, so you don't have time to prepare your deck. In calm environment, you just go. We are waiting for you. You have 5 minutes to deploy, and this can be painful. In the meantime, it goes as we mentioned previously. This flag is snatched by the red side, and this flag will be most probably snatched by the airman, although there is Su-76 which will pound the incoming forces.
Oof. I have to say one thing. Su-76s, I love those. They're cheaper than the IG itself, and in addition, they have not only armor but also 2 machine guns. They're so good. I love them. They're really great. When I play Viborg, those are amazing. I am very sad I only have 1 card of them, but oh Jesus Christ, we have some strafing Stukas coming in.
Erben
I don't
losing
like
first plane in the match. Congrats to
Ooh.
you.
No, I don't like that. But if the Yak one will go for the head-on, he's Oh no.
Yeah.
Ooh, Stuka not following up. Ooh, alright, there we go.
We
That
can
was 1
see
second.
that Curious is a new player because he's not scared of Ju-87. He thinks that he is a fighter, and some strafing plane would do much to you. Wrong. This
Yes,
plane
wrong.
can kill you, and it will kill you. Ju-87 strong, exactly.
Yes. It's a plane that will go down very quickly if attacked from the back or by AA. But if you go head on with that, you won't even notice and you're already dead. It's really it goes down very quickly. There we go, starting with the Focke-Wulf spam and the Henschel 129D3 coming for the IS2. Will it get it? If it will, that would be a huge loss and an amazing gain for the Axis team. Not getting it on this run. Well, from the front, it will be very hard to do so, but eventually the HE damage will get the IS2.
Yeah, it was the first round though, and as you can see, most people are saying, what do you do against heavy tanks? Exactly this, especially because you are not able to cover all your front line if enemy is applying pressure. You are not able to bring heavy tank and bring AA.
Yes, it's this is the thing. I'd rather bring AA first and then get the IS2 out when I'm sure I can provide the AA to my tank. And the other thing is, both divisions do not really lack AA. 84th, 84th doesn't really have that bad AA if I remember correctly.
They have 37s. Usually it's
Yeah,
more than enough to
let's
stop
say even
the...
better. They don't
Yeah.
only have 37s, they have 2 cards of 85s and 1 card of M17s, which pin down on place if the plane gets into their airspace. Same thing with Freiburg. They don't lack AA. They have 37 mils and they get 85 mils. So really AA, which is capable. It will defend your IS2. 285s and the handshell will not go through. But here,
So, shout
tactical
out
mistake.
and early spiritual winner for this game from my side is to Gearhead. Why? Because he's pretty experienced, pretty good 1v1 player. He plays in Division 2 if I remember correctly. And he agreed on playing with some new player from Bootcamp Discord. And you can see that Curious is new by his movement on the map, by his air engagements against Ju-87 head-ons, and even some deck parts like bringing M42 in ZIS-42 very slow track and bringing gas AA when you have very good AA in your AA tab.
Yeah, Gearhead, a veteran, teaming up with Curiously for the game. Nice combo, I'd say. I like combos of veterans with younger or newer people because, well, it gives a time for newer people to learn. I think it's a great idea, but against 2 people like Orman and the Khadids, 2 very experienced and very strong players, the team will have problems. And just as we said, AA going out on the field now, a bit too late. All right, IS2 is still alive, but if you zoom in a bit, you can see that he has taken a lot of HE damage.
It's already damaged. You can see by changing in the texture. You see few like holes after the shells, and you can see that the tank itself it's darker. On the other hand, we've seen pretty smart movement from the Cadiz. How you get this flag as a blue side without like going and fighting here, especially against enemy IS2s, or going here into the bloody battle when enemy is entrenched and has a lot of support equipment. You bomb blindly the houses. Usually it's one of or like this house or this house which hold the flag for you. Then you move single ersatz to the edge of the lake and the flag is yours.
Yes. Of course, it's not the most reliable tactic because sometimes, well, the infantry can be somewhere else and all that. And in a moment where you can lose a plane by doing it, I would not recommend it. But if you can, then I would totally do it. And pack group 88 mil on the field from Oerman. Well,
Where is it? I'm missing it.
just on the left. You just passed
Oh, here. Yeah.
There
Okay.
you go.
The big boy.
Boom. And this thing against IS2 on this range, IS2 has no chances. And oh, he's already dead.
IS2 is dead, as you can see, penetrated by chat pack 43. This is pretty sexy unit, I need to admit. Look at these colors, bro.
Amazing.
Damn it. I would like to swing my gun like, I mean, yeah, it's okay.
Well, small tip for people. The gun does 10 HE, 10 damage. So if it penetrates, it will deal 10 damage. The IS-2 would need 2 penetrations because the IS-2 has 12 HP. So this gun needs to penetrate the IS-2 twice. This time it only did 1 shot because
In
it
the
was already
meantime,
down.
the cat is doing the target bombing tricks. Oh, damn it. 1 second, boys.
He has to drink her first.
Yeah. Thanks for drinking break. Thank you for the follow, and nice to see you, Verticala. We are casting 2v2 tournament. What I wanted to say a bit earlier is that target bombing via the caddies is what you should do at this flank, and it was successful. They got a flag, so we have 14-10 in favor of Axis.
Welcome, Verti. Nice to see you here. Yes, Axe has already taken the lead with Orman with the Vanguard. We can see him pushing on his side, while the Kadits is, and this is something that you will see quite a lot in the tournament, I can say. So if you look at the map overall, the Kadits on his side is rather defending. So he set up units there, and he's not moving. He's not pushing. What is he doing? Is he's defending his side, and he's attacking. Or will be helping Oerman with some small units, or will be preparing for a push. Usually, you will see people defending one side and both stacking on the other one. It's a very common thing to see. Sometimes, of course, both players will push, but this usually ends with, well, this usually happens if they don't have good cooperation, or on if they don't have good communication.
Yeah, kids, listen what Papa Green has to say you. What you do in team games, usually have dedicated people to defend certain areas, and you punch through the single area for the biggest effect. That's what most people do, most successful people do, like Nila and Graham. They are no joke, they are winner of previous 2v2 tournament. And usually if you are curious what to do, you have no really ground to easily take on your side, you should help your ally or communicate with him where do we push now.
TTC, I think the chat likes. The chat thinks you're handsome. I think the chat. Okay, they don't say it directly, but I think just look at Mochgazer. You see, he says that all those viewers they come for your face. I think it's accurate. Thank you,
Okay,
Mochgazer.
so you're not laughing about my facial hair like in primary school?
Oh, you have facial hair. Look at that. You should cut it.
Damn it, boys.
I'm joking. No,
I will be more confident with my girlfriend now. Thank you, boys.
So yes, as you can see, red team getting well pushed a little bit again, losing price units like the IS-2, losing tanks, losing infantry everywhere, and we can see an imbalance in points spent. The blue team has just more points on the field overall, while the red one doesn't. The red one has to patch holes. They need cheap units where they lost their previous units, and I don't see it. What do I see? 2 IS-2s. Well, those are expensive units, and I'm not sure those are units that will really turn the tide of the game. Good. I think one would be enough to stop any further pushes, but 2 of them are a lot. While I think the red team right now needs a lot of cheap stuff to slowly start pushing back. Maybe an off map. 84th indeed has an off map card, 203 millimeters potent card. While the Viborg, if I'm not wrong, the Viborg also has one, 152 millimeter. I would rather see this and dropped on the town. Oh yeah, that's the tactic of the guys here. Definitely what I have to say, IS-2s will stop any further pushes. As long as there's no pack 43 brought again to deal with them, they will stop any further pushes from tanks. which will not stop infantry, as we can see in the forest right now.
Small
But,
addition to what Green said at the moment, that 2 IS-2s will stop further pushes. Yes and no. Why? Because all of the flags which Axis wanted to get are already in their favor. Also, IS-2s are coming from single position, so it's pretty easy to smoke them. They are also vulnerable to bombing. I'm not sure if single as ZSU M17 will stop whole combined air force of airmen and Decadis in this game.
yeah, an M17 will stop a handshell coming at your ISOs. Not kill it, but stop it. Not all the planes. A Focke-Wulf will easily go through the bombs. Well, yes, as TTC said, there's not much to defend anymore. The flags have been taken. Those can be used for turtling, so setting them up and slowly bringing infantry and slowly pushing back. But again, Axis have what they need to defend against IS-2s and turtling. They have Pak 43s, we can see one on the field right now, and the sexy Jagd Panther coming on the field. It looks great. It looks, it's absolutely amazing. Yeah, I love the tank. It's if you look at a KT, it's okay, but this thing, it's I love it.
But it's not a tank. It's heavy tank destroyer Green. We have new players.
Hey, yeah, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say this.
Jagd Panta, exactly. Yeah, we can clearly see by movement and playstyle of Curious that he's also a new player to the game. To be honest, it's not an insult or blaming him. I'm really happy to see that there is so many new players coming to tournament like this. Green, great job.
Well, thank you very much. But I think in most of the thanks should go to the Bootcamp Discord, where they organize the Greenhorn Cups. Tournaments for newer people in the game that allow them to feel like real tourney players, like real pro players. And then they see how tournaments work, that they see that they're actually fun, and they come to tournaments like this one. So yeah, I'm also really happy to see players. I'm happy to see players like Nilla or Amber T, amazing, very strong players, and I'm also happy to see people like people like Sunter, or here
Or people like Fantix. Yeah.
or people like Fantix. Yes, Fantix, you'll be in the game with TTC, who's sitting here. Look at him. He can't wait. Look, he can't sit. He just, he's full of energy to play. And I think yes, Fantix, I'm rooting for you, alright? Don't fail me. I mean, I know if you guys lose, it's TTC's fault. But, oh yes.
What I really love again is this double fighter, going in wings. This is awesome.
It definitely looks great, but
It's new meta. It's new meta.
New meta, but then you lose both of them, and it's big sad.
Erman doing it again, and Kirchen. Okay, guys, I'm laughing. Why you don't do it? So, what you usually do when you zoom out the map, you see different air spawns, and why you should use multiple of them for several reasons. First, angling. It's easier to catch angle if enemy plane is dodging to the left or to the right. If you have two planes going crossing the path of enemy plane. The other thing is that there are certain units in the game. To be honest, all AA, it just efficiency of the thing is different. For example, heavy AP is like 85 or 88 millimeter. 88 millimeter is something like this, which sits for 7 minutes or 5 minutes already in the transport. I don't know why the cat is guess. I think he doesn't need it. They stun planes in AOE. So fighters going in, two fighter wing, they will get stunned together. Meaning that they won't get through enemy AA net. So remember, kids, always try to get your fighters and planes in general spread. Unless you know that there is no AA which contests it, unless there is no other way to sneak your planes through, or there is no other way to attack certain unit. There are certain points of the map where attacking like with aircrafts going from multiple direction a bit tricky. For example, when you have hill on Shredrin, if enemy is sitting on the slope of the hill and you try to go from two direction, usually the fighter or bomber from the hill direction will miss or don't shoot at all because there is no clear line of sight on the approach. Damn it. Green, are you still here or you died? Green, don't leave. Damn it. Professional caster. Damn it. Okay, Yabo42. Will you cast your own games? I don't know. I think I shouldn't, right? That's not a gentleman thing to do. Especially if I lose, you know. If I win, I will. Yeah, if I win, I will cast.
You should cast them anyway. Maybe from first-person perspective.
Yeah, I could do so. But for now, for the match, it's 7-17 for Axis. I see that Gearhead is still trying to orchestrate his ally, believing in the income advantage in the late game. It will be very hard to recover, but you know, it's still 5 minutes on the clock. Ice 2 coming, Chernos coming. I'm not fan of Ice 2 in this position. It's not like you need Ice 2, but on the other hand, okay, Gearhead is viable. Gearhead has a lot of medium tanks. The Curious is the one without medium tanks, so he was sent into the open. By the way, another Ice 2.
I see Churchills in this forest. Churchills, Viborg gets them, and I'd say they're quite good against dogs on close ranges. So I'd prefer them over an Ice 2. It's just too expensive.
Yeah, I agree. So, in the meantime, the cat is noticing that he has 288 millimeters, one unloading here, another one. Quick hunting to the position. Holy shit. The cat is, what you doing? The cat is, by the way, winner of Division 3. Do you remember?
Division 4.
Oh, Division 4. Do you remember how we said previously that you don't need to be best at micro to be successful in the game? Look, this is kind of example. All right, to be honest, at this point in the game, it's getting more clear with every second, with every engagement, that Axis is going to win. Even though map was pretty open, we could see that allies pretty efficiently shut down any IS-2 with Air Force, PAK-43 Krupps, and Yacht Panthers. Decadis showed a bit how you should use Yacht Panther. In the first place, you bring them when your frontline is secure or you need them. In this case, he brings them when he sees that his frontline is secure. For example, in the middle, right? This is more like area denial or emergency tool to kill IS-2 if everything else fails. The other thing is that you don't bring your heavy tanks unless you really need to risk if you don't have AA. We've seen multiple Yacht Panthers going earlier. Yes, this is heavy tank, but heavy tanks still die from the Air Force. Okay.
Air Force in this game can really take care of everything.
Damn it! You
It's
know,
quite good. It's
Green
good
is
in the
going
cash right now.
peekaboo. Now you hear me. Now you don't.
I'm just trying to not, stop you. I really like your monologues.
Monologues. Damn it.
No. Your casting. I really like them.
By the way, PAK-43 is from Arman. I'm not sure. I think it's second one because previous one died to the Air Force from Gearhead, but this is another kill of IS-2 with PAK-43s. As Allies already lost at least 5 IS-2s. I'm not sure. Yeah, there is still one in the bottom. It's pretty much over. We could... Okay, Decadis. By the way, the very same... probably winner of the game is in the chat, Decadis. You can point him out that you don't have flag 41 88mm sitting for 7 minutes in the background doing nothing. But other than
That was a tactic. I think that was a tactic. It was a plan. It was all planned.
holy shit, IS2 getting side-shotted from B2 and Stuk and being dead.
Oof. You know, guys, this is why you don't bring IS2s in like close quarter things, because tanks in this game have, well, they really like to turn sideways to the front line, and then this thing happens. So bring
Yeah.
your cheap tanks to the forest. Don't bring an IS2 there.
I know that Gearhead is pretty experienced player, so it was probably like last resort push. But yeah, I wasn't keen of using IS2 in this area from the very first moment I've seen it. And that's...
Yeah, and there we go. That's the end. If we look at the KD, I just want to point out the KD of the Axis team, because I heard it's very interesting. Not like someone was carrying the game, it just...
I mean, we've seen it on the order. I think that the Katis was probably... We know that he's a very good player, so he was most probably drunk.
Yeah.
Having 900 kills in like 20-minute game. Let's be honest, Curious, who joined Bootcamp Discord a week ago, has more kills than you.
Look at
But
these, be ashamed.
yeah, but Airman, very good game, very good game. You want 2v2 yourself. Damn it. No, but really,
Yeah.
shout out to Gearhead that he decided to play with new player. Although we see in the KD that Curious didn't give his skin for free. He got even more kills than Gearhead himself, and of course more than the Caddies. But
Yes.
yeah,
Oh, it's not hard. No, I'm joking. The Khadid's very strong player. Kicked my ass in the final. I think it was a little bit of a one-sided game because Allies went with the they just attacked from the very beginning, but they couldn't. They I think they had a plan on the IS2 in the middle, but they just couldn't deliver it. And the loss of the IS2, they lost the town, which gave Ottoman the availability to just put the Krupp there and kill the IS2.
I mean it's not a
This-
single IS2. This single group killed 3 IS2s in a row.
Exactly. So losses like this change games because this really puts you back 150 points back, and then another one that's already 300 points back, and then another one that's 450 points back. You guys earn the same amount of points, so you cannot make it up. And
Yeah. All right. So this was the game number 1.